Men are prone toward chauvinism or cowardice. Too much, too little. Now, the key is to understand the gospel. The perfect man is Jesus. The man that we were supposed to be like is Jesus. Our great God and Savior, Jesus Christ, comes into human history to live life as the perfect man. God-man, to be sure, but perfect man nonetheless. You and I need to take our cue for masculinity from Jesus. Now, the key to masculinity is this. Jesus takes responsibility. For himself, he works a job. He takes responsibility for me. See, the cross is where Jesus substituted himself and died in my place for my sins. Now, you need to know this. My sins are my fault, not Jesus' fault, but Jesus has made them his responsibility. This is the essence of the gospel, the good news. If you understand this, this will change how you view masculinity. A man is not the one who can spit the farthest, punch the hardest, fart the stinkiest, yell the loudest. He's the man who takes responsibility. Some of you are not big, you're not strong, you're not tough. In a cage fight, it's not going to go well for you. In a squirt gun fight, it's not going to go well for you. But you could still be a man if you're responsible. Jesus died for my sins. He took responsibility for me. Once you understand how Jesus' masculinity is one of the means by which, as covenant head, he has served us well, then you realize to be a man means to take responsibility as the head of the covenant of marriage. That means you take responsibility for yourself. Some of you guys are a total joke. I have no respect for you at all. You can't get a job, keep a job. You can't keep your hands off a girl. You can't stop downloading porn. You can't pay your own bills. You can't get out of bed in the morning. You know what? If you can't even take responsibility for yourself, you shouldn't even get a pet, let alone a wife, let alone a kid. See, marriage is for men. It's not for boys. And too many men act like boys, and too many boys think, if I get married, that'll make me a man. And it never works like that. Boys who get married don't become men. They ruin women. And sometimes children if they have them. You need to take responsibility for yourself, your own church. You become a member of a church, your own job. You pay your own bills. You walk with God. Then take responsibility for your company. Take responsibility for your church. Take responsibility for your wife. Take responsibility for your kids. Take some measure of responsibility for your city. See, being a man is not finding other people who can carry your load. Being a man is carrying your load and loving a wife and children and carrying that load as well. By becoming a Christian, gentlemen, you realize that Jesus is the head of the new covenant, and then he teaches you how to be the head of the marriage covenant. He makes you the member of the church. As you become a member of a church, you become part of the collective, not individual, collective bride of Christ. And as you follow Jesus, you learn how to lead. And by submitting to spiritual authority and shutting up because you innately know nothing about anything, and submitting yourself to instruction instead of the fool's parade that you call buddies, you can grow in wisdom and then be ready to love a woman for a lifetime.